No transgender mutilization.
Mutilization. It's mutilization.
So let's talk about Donald Trump's little speech yesterday. Actually, there's a couple of moments in here that weren't even from the speech of the Congressional Institute. There's a couple, I believe, that are from his press conference. But the narrative here, I talked about it in a previous story, is that he is slipping away, maybe slipped away. Maybe he might be gone. He might be all the way gone. And he has a Republican Party that is just there praising the dear leader, a la North Korea, a la Iran, with the supreme leader that they all worship and think is great. We're in the same boat as these other despotic dictatorships. We just got our white supremacist, ethno-state loving Donald Trump at the helm. I'm going to start with just what a weird religious type cult meeting this thing was, with this brief clip of the intro where the announcer in his overwrought style is like, please welcome to the stage all of the sycophants who want Donald Trump's genitals in and around their mouths. Here they are, everybody. It is a weird scene that played out yesterday.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your House Republican leadership team. Speaker Mike Johnson, Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Majority Whip Tom Emmer, and Conference Chairwoman Lisa McClain.
Thank you all so much. Have a seat.
Weird, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage all of the boot-licking sycophants who love Donald Trump's genitals in and around their mouths. First, Mike Johnson, Steve Scalise, Tom Emmer.
What are we doing here? Just weird. And then when Mike Johnson got his time on stage, he got up and effectively what he's doing, this is not real or literally what he's doing, but what you're getting ready to witness from Mike Johnson is effectively talking about the size and girth and weight of Donald Trump's massive penis, that no man is more powerful than Donald Trump, saying things that are absolutely verifiably false that we've all witnessed, especially related to Donald Trump's not needing sleep, the guy that can't keep his fucking eyes open during meetings where people are speaking to him. Yet he's virile and vital and energetic. Very weird. Watch the Speaker of the House debase himself for the dear leader.
We are bringing America back again, and it's largely because of the leadership of the gentleman that I'll introduce to you in a moment. He is the most active president, the most energized president, the most successful president, I believe, in my lifetime, and he's proven it over and over and over, and part of it is because he doesn't sleep, thankfully. He's got so much to do, and I know that because I get calls from him at 2 a.m. and 7 a.m., sometimes in the same day. He doesn't require a lot of sleep, thankfully, and he is the man for the moment. His achievements are incalculable. History will record that this president came at exactly the right time, on the eve of the 250th anniversary of the greatest nation in the history of the world, the most free, most successful, most powerful, most benevolent nation that has ever been. And we understand, and he understands, that it's not guaranteed. He understands that we have to fight for it every single day, and he does that every single day.
Doesn't need a lot of sleep. He's the most energized president.
Donald Trump, the 80-year-old who fucks like a jackrabbit. He's our leader. He's a strong man.
Are you not embarrassed, Mike Johnson? Are you not embarrassed, sir? We know Donald Trump needs sleep. His cabinet knows he needs sleep. Marco Rubio had a conversation to Donald Trump about Donald Trump, and he couldn't keep his eyes open. I'm going to play this clip. There's so many out there. I have one with Pete Hegseth. I have one with different leaders, Dr. Oz and RFK. I have so many clips that I've set aside of Donald Trump just sleeping while in meetings. But this one is particularly good. It's very short, but it's him, Marco Rubio, talking to Donald Trump about Donald Trump. But what's great about it is, given the new war in Iran that wasn't happening when this clip took place, it's Donald Trump just passed the fuck out while Marco Rubio is talking to and about him. But he's talking about the fact that Donald Trump hates war and ended all the wars. Yet here we are.
Everything this president does is driven by the American people. Whether you don't have to agree with the actual move, but understand the motivation. The motivation is always you, the American people, and what's good for you, for your family, for the country, and for our economy. But the president is also committed to peace in a way that all of us have seen. He achieved in Gaza, and he does it, by the way, not just because he hates war and he thinks wars are a waste of money and lives, but because he's the only leader in the world that can. No other leader in the world could have pulled off what happened in Gaza. And I can tell you, I can't get into the details. The vice president knows what I'm talking about. That deal doesn't happen without the president's direct interaction with the leaders that were involved in this decision making. And everyone said that deal couldn't hold. And then the president shepherded through the United Nations of all places to get a global coalition of countries to line up behind the peace deal, behind the border peace. And it's still, every day is a challenge, but it's been driven personally by the president. It's the reason why we're involved in this whole Ukraine-Russia conflict. That's not our war. It's not the president's war. This war started, it never would have happened if you'd been president. But this war is going on, and the president is trying to end it, not because, listen, we got a million things to focus on in the world as a country, but he's the only leader in the world that can help end it. And that's why even as we speak to you now, Steve Witkoff is in Moscow trying to find a way to end this war, to save lives of 9,000 people, Mr. President, as you want to know, are dying every week.
Maybe we're at war because Donald Trump was asleep for him saying that, and he forgot. He forgot. Maybe that's it. Tell me again, Mike Johnson, that Donald Trump doesn't need sleep. Tell me again how energetic he is. Donald Trump, the man who literally believes that exercise depletes your energy and that we are like a battery, and over time you deplete the energy in the battery and then you die. That exercise more quickly depletes the battery. That's something that Donald Trump really actually believes. Just Google that statement and see what headlines come up. It is remarkable. But as far as Donald Trump falling asleep, he's fallen asleep on the job. He's mentally not there. He's cognitively he's falling away. And he's saying things that are damning to him and damaging even to Donald Trump. Yesterday, he talked about, I'm the only president who can get away with doing the shit that I'm doing. And that's not a literal quote. No other president can do some of this shit I'm doing. That's what Donald Trump said to this audience of sycophantic, boot-licking, ass-licking Republicans. And they chortle with delight. They love that this is who their leader is.
But, they've said this about a lot of things. No other president could do some of this shit I'm doing. No other president. The things I'm doing, nobody else was going to do it. They say it all the time. Sir, could you do this? You're the only one can do it.
Not a normal thing. And you might say, look, yeah, that's just Donald Trump, and he's just acknowledging. It's kind of along the same lines of I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and not lose a single voter. It's kind of like that. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe this isn't a signal of diminished cognition. It could be, sure. But when he's asked about whether or not the new supreme leader of Iran has a target on his back, and he immediately shifts and talks about the assassin who wanted to take me out, you can't explain that away. Watch this very troubling moment from Donald Trump and his failing brain yesterday.
You have called him an unacceptable choice. So does he have a target on his back? And how can you say
I don't want to say whether or not he does, because that would be inappropriate. But, hey, look, I had a target on my back because, as you people wrote pretty well, they caught the assassin that was after me. So we just got them first, but they caught the assassin. They have him now in custody that was after me. So, but people don't like to mention that, but they did catch him. And I'd like to congratulate our military, Secret Service, FBI, all of the people that worked on that, but they did. Yeah, please.
So, Mr. President, does the Iranian leader have a target on his back? Well, I had a target on my back with the assassin, and then they caught him, and blah, 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 blah. That's the... I mean, even if we're being fair and charitable about this, which we do not need to do with Donald Trump, we don't need to give him the benefit of the doubt. Even if he's just confused or has the attention span of like an 18-month-old, this is all a problem for us. You're asked a specific question about the war that you have brought against another nation without congressional approval, without following the edicts and the demands of the Constitution of the United States. And when asked about, does the leader that you've killed his father, the new leader, you killed his dad, that's the son of the guy Donald Trump killed, does he have a target on his back? Well, I had a target on my back. And then there's this. 2 separate moments with Donald Trump just being an anti-trans bigot, talking about I'm gonna have to read the word because I can't say the word incorrectly. He's talking about the mutilization of children. No transgender mutilization surgery for our children. This is real life. Watch this.
I want 5 things that are like close to 100%. No transgender mutilization surgery for our children. You can't have transgender for our children. So those 5.
And you may say, because I want to combat all of the arguments, you may say, well, he just misspoke. He just flubbed the word. Everybody flubs word. I flub words. It's no big deal, right? Except for the fact that earlier in the day, during a press conference at Doral, Donald Trump said it not once, but twice, maybe 3 times in this very short clip. This is the word, this is how he thinks that word is pronounced.
Liberal in that. We've added 2 things to it. No men in women's sports and no transgender mutilization of our children. We don't want it's mutilization of our children. And we don't want that. So we added those 2 things. That's the 5 points. We have 5 very good points.
Mutilation, Donald Trump. It's not mutilization. You 80-year-old. You Ivy League educated dolt. I have words. I have the best words, even the ones that I make up. Mutilization. And then what I really love that you may not have noticed, I watch these clips maybe with too much glued to the screen to watch every moment and every intonation and every facial tick and every pause and to see what he's doing. He was trying to avoid even saying the words because he knew he was saying it wrong, but just went with it. Just 1, bigotry, hatred, otherizing of a wildly marginalized portion of our population with suicide rates that are much higher than any other group in the country. And Donald Trump wants to continue to demonize them by talking about mutilization, while the audience delights in his bigotry and his hatred and his endangering of an already marginalized group in our country. Fuck him. Fuck Republicans. And you know what? All of this maybe is good. Hopefully Mother Nature takes her course, does her job a little quicker. We'll see what happens. What do you think? Comment below. Let's do all of our talking about this video in the comments. You can like, you can subscribe, you can share this video. All of those things go toward correcting whatever's happening in the algorithm. I would appreciate your help in that very much. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.